Hello, good day. So this is my activity for employee payroll, which is built with PHP, JavaScript, and CSS. So let's get to it. So at first, in my index PHP, first we define an array called employees here. So each item is an associative array with 5 keys, as you can see here. It has name, position, the day's work, um, the daily rate, and the deduction. So it's a multi-dimensional associative array because it's an array of an arrays, as you can see here. And then, so this mirrors a small table in memory and makes each employee easy to read and update, right? And then next, I have 4 functions, so I call them they're helpers here. So 4 functions. So it has a function that format name and returns uppercase word and trim name. So this converts something like here Juan de la Cruz. So it will be like a consistent, nice looking names without editing the original data. And then the next function is the calc gross, as you can see here. So it returns it multiplies the day's work and the daily rate here. So we cast to float to be safe. As you can see here, we cast it to float. And then it returns as you can see here, it returns the employees gross pay. And then the calc net, third function, our helper. So it returns the gross and then subtracts the deduction. So it returns the net pay. This is what we usually care about for comparisons. And then the next function is the peso. So it formats here to return peso number format, float, and so it returns so this keeps all money values like consistent. So later when we print strings like names and positions, we wrap them with HTML special chars to avoid accidentally rendering HTML from user provided text. And next here is the sorting. So as you can see here, the use sort um, employees, the function. So this sorts the array in place. So the spaceship operator, so it returns -1 or 0 or 1. So we compare B to A, as you can see here. When we compare B to A, not A to B, so the highest net shows first. And then so we loop it once through the sorted array, so the accumulated total gross and total net with total gross plus equals to calc gross, as you can see here, and total net is plus equals to calc net. And then it tracks the top earner. If the current net is greater than top net, so we store the formatted name, position, and value. So this gives us the summary cards at the top and the total rows at the bottom. And then we have next here, we use the function display rows list. So this function is to echo out table rows. So for each employee, so it computes the gross and net using our helpers. As you can see, our four helpers. So it prints as you can see here. So it prints 7 cells: name, the position, the days, the daily, the deduction, the gross, and the net. So we include the data net, so equals to dot on the tr, as you can see. So this custom attribute, let's JavaScript quickly read the numeric net pay for highlighting. So we format the money columns with peso. So we use HTML special chars on name and position, so to keep the output is safe. So there's a tfoot with totals and total gross and total net. And then so this index.php, it performs 3 big jobs. As you can see here, it prepares data and does the math, then sorts by net pay for a nicer default view, and also it prints clean HTML that our CSS and JavaScript can enhance. And next, we go to the JavaScript. So I have here the script.js. So as you can see, so in script.js, we wait for DOM content loaded. As you can see here, so the elements exist before we touch them. So we grab the document that element by ID search. The ID is search. So the reset. Next is the reset button, and next is the all body rows. Inside the table, the query all tr under t body. And then the filter, the function filter here, so it reads the search text, lower cases it, and then so for each row, so it checks if the row's text includes the query. So if it matches, we show the row. If not, we hide it with style.display equals to none. And then so we also clear any previous highlight outline so it doesn't stick. So, and finally we call highlight top that visible to mark the current top corner among the visible rows. As you can see here, it's a height. And then the highlight function top visible, so this scans only the rows that are currently visible. So it reads their data net attributes, as you can see here. It finds the maximum and draws a subtle outline on that row. So this is just a quick visual cue while searching, as you can see here. Okay, see there's underline here. If we just search Daniel, so just underline, just the visible, like the visible display. And the next is the here. So input that add event listener input filter. So we listen to input events on the search box and click on the reset button on load. So we call filter, as you can see here. once, so everything is in a known state and the top earner is outlined immediately. And then next is let's go to our CSS. As you can see here, I just make it simply a one-line CSS, so it's be pleasing in the eye, so you can see it. So our design here, so this design, as you can see, so this style sheet aims for I aim it for like a simple, dark, and readable and responsive. So we use custom properties, CSS variables. So colors and spacing are easy to tweak, as you can see here. So it's just like a simple, and then at root, as you can see here, the root. So we define ink, muted, as you can see here, the BG panel, the line, and the brand. So this set text color, background, card color, borders, and accent. So we set the back sizing here, as you can see here, back sizing, border globally. So remove the default body margins and choose a system font stack and apply a dark background. And then our layout containers here, so that wrap, you can see here, that wrap centers content and sets, as you can see here, it sets a max width so lines don't get too wide. So H1 uses, so my H1 here is uses lowercase for minimalist look. And the summary cards, like the mini grid here, as you can see here, the mini grid, so it uses a CSS grid with 3 equal columns on desktop, and each dot card has subtle border, rounded corners, and padding. So the kicker is a tiny label. The val is the bold number, and this is the quick glance area. And then the controls, you can see here, it's a small flex row, so the search input grows to fill the width, and then a compact reset button, so it's that to the right, as you can see here. And then the table here, and we style our table here, as you can see here. So it provides a bordered rounded container, so with overflow, as you can see here, auto, so it scrolls nicely on narrow screens. And table has a minimum width, so columns don't collapse on phones. And the head, the TH is sticky, so it stays visible while you scroll the rows, as you can see here. And then the body and the foot here, it uses the dashed separators for a light feel. And that left, it aligns text for name and position. And then that bold, so it might emphasize the net pay, as you can see here. And then I made it responsive, as you can see here. As you get at media, query max width is 720 pixels. It stacks the 3 summary cards into a single column and slightly adjust font size, so the table still scrolls horizontally when needed, so it's usable on small screens. And then And then this is it. This is how this is my employee payroll. And thanks for listening.